bails out with the dog, I sit for a second, looking at the neighbor's overgrown lawn. My friends next door moved away, too. 2 kids, 1 mom, 1 dad, and 1 dog. Lover and friend to our dog. If they were here, I might go and visit them tonight. Sometimes the mom would take her kids, not his, out of town and only the dad was there. But I'd go over anyway. He and I sat on the screen porch to drink coffee or a bit of booze. Often there would be silence, but never a self-conscious silence. The Woodsman, Hunk, came along once, but unable to sit still, he soon went back to our 2-story, which by the way is quite modern and complete, to work on his kayak in the basement. This kayak building is a 3-year and running work in progress. Next door, they used to entertain a different idea of marriage. She worked harder than he, that is, she won the bread. Here at this house, I'm not supposed to work at all, in the formal sense. No, I even have a cleaning lady. I do cook though, and I do hate to cook. The man next door loved to cook, and he did cook too all the time. Since she brought 2 teenagers along from before, from the previous attempt, both of whom were healthy of appetite, Dad next door was forever fixing something, or out back in the vegetable garden cutting something to fix with. Every so often, on long afternoons, I'd go over there in my bathing suit and lie on the chase lounge. While he worked in the soil, I caught some rays. With hubby at the office, I couldn't spar. I couldn't spar, and I'd get bored. The neighbor's wifey would be at work sometimes too. She worked in consulting. He and I never knew where she'd be from one day to the next, but we didn't really care. There just didn't seem to be any point in keeping up with it. Anyway, back to Waggy and the dog romance. They whined through the fence when they couldn't be together. They had play fights, biting at each other's fur collar. They slept in the sun, rooted their wet noses around in other people's garbage. They made like dogs trying to have kids. Though, of course, the fix was in, so there was no way kids were going to happen to our little Waggy. That was what we call a pre-decision. One day, while the sun splashed down and the dogs dozed, I slumped, half asleep too, on the neighbor's plastic lawn chair. My eyes were shut, but I knew without looking what next door Dad was doing. He was 3 feet away, weeding the border of his garden. Warm water pushed air bubbles and spurts through a light of green hose, which was lying in the grass on standby, gurgling. "We're moving to Montreal," he said. I opened my eyes and watched him, now cutting chives. My viscera flipped. Montreal! He labored on, too weak to stop and turn. I got a sudden solarizing effect in my head. The green grass went blue on me. The dirt in the garden wasn't juicy and black like it had been. It was red. My throat closed up, so I went back to my house, to my room, to my bed. The doorbell rang, but I let it. The dog clawed at the back door, but I let her claw away. I put dinner aside and stared. The phone rang and I let it. The night came and I let it too. I climbed into a tranquilized tent. Hours later, I guess, Master and Trount Dog returned, at odds with each other. Soon Bad Doggy could be heard crying behind the basement door. Should I get really mischievous and loose the mutt? I wondered. Tiptoe down, slide back the retaining wall, and watch her go like a freed pigeon? I argued with myself, but I didn't act. No, I did not act. I, you see, am a suck. She just suck, too.